Hi, boys and girls. It's me again. I hope you're ready for your second math lesson. We're going to review what we learned yesterday and what we learned last week, and then we're going to learn a new concept today. All right, so turn on your brain, put your feet on the floor, hands on your lap, and your eyes on me. All right, thank you. Now we're going to go ahead and review first what we talked about yesterday. Who could remember what this kind of telling time is called? Remember? Digital, right. So when you're telling time, you could use the digital clock or you could use what you have at home, which is called the what? Analog, right. So remember, let's go over the analog because we're going to use this again today. So we are going to start by reviewing that the long hand, this big long hand, is touching the 12, is called the minute hand. And the small hand, the short hand, is touching the 4 over here, barely touching the number. That is the hour hand. Also remember that when this minute hand goes all the way around the clock, it goes around, and when it gets back up to the 12, you're going to notice also as I'm doing this that the hour hand is also moving closer to the next number, the next hour, right? So it said 4 o'clock, and now look, it's getting closer, and it is now 5 o'clock because it went around 60 minutes. So if you look closely here, there's a 60, right? So that means that every time this minute hand touches a number, that it is 5 minutes. So 5 minutes have passed when it gets to the next number. And to the next number, it's 5 minutes, right? So you're skip counting by fives every time that this minute hand touches a number, all right? So that's the review. Now, when it is, like for example, this hour, you know that the hour is pointing to the 5, and then the minute hand is pointing to the 12, so we're going to say o'clock. Remember we talked about that? So you call out the number of where the hour hand is pointing, 5, and then you say o'clock because the big hand is pointing to the 12. So it's 5 o'clock now, but guess what? Now we're going to learn a different setting of the clock, which is 5:30. And that is also called 5:30, which means that, watch carefully, okay? This hand, I'm going to really slowly, it's going to go all the way around, halfway around actually the clock, and it's going to stop at the 30 right here. So it's going to stop at the 6. Do you see that? So it's actually right now 5:30. So see how it was pointing to the 5 a little minute ago, but now it's pointing to the middle between the 5 and the 6, right? Between the 5 and the 6. And then look, the minute hand is pointing to the 6. And do you see that little 30 right there? That means it's 30 minutes. Some people call it 5:30. That means that the hour hand is passing halfway in between the 5 and the 6. Or if it's a different hour, it's between the 2 hours, between the 2 numbers. So that is 5:30, and then I'm going to continue going up, boys and girls, and it's going to go all the way to the 12, and now it is 6 o'clock. So if I continue down 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, now it's 6:30. You see that? 6:30. And if I keep going up again, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, another 30 minutes will give me 7 o'clock. So remember, that is 7. And then when you bring it all the way down to the 6 like this, it is 7:30. You're always going to call out the smaller number, okay? The hour that is earlier than the one that's next. So for example, Is it 8:30 or 7:30? 7:30, right? Because you're calling out the hour before the 8. When it's in the middle, you call out the smaller number. Okay, 7:30. Now if I go back up again and go all the way to the 12, now it's 8 o'clock. You see that? 8 o'clock. And now it's going to be, I'm going to bring it down to the 6, 8:30. And then if I keep going again, 9:30. Again, sometimes they call it half past the hour. 9:30 right now. Okay? If you look carefully, each one of these little dots, there's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see that? So you're skip counting. You're using your skip counting knowledge that you already know. All right? Okay, very good. Now the next thing we're going to do is just go over our paper. You should have, the paper that you should have is lesson 10.3, and it is page 251. It's 30 minutes analog. So we're using the clocks that you have at home, and we're going to have fun just right now setting it and then setting it to the time that we work on the paper with, okay? So let's do the first one. Let's go over here. So we're going to do page, like I said, 251, and it says, read the time and circle the hour hand. Draw the minute hand. You see that? Here we go. So let's go ahead and do step 1 first, which it says, circle the hour hand. So you're going to circle all of the hands that are already there because all of those are hour hands. It's the shorthand. So you can circle them. So circle all of them. You're going to circle them like this. Those are the hour hands. They're all circled. You see that? Okay. So then the next thing that they want you to do, step 2, is to draw the minute hand. So you're going to draw where the minute hand belongs in each picture. Look at the digital time. Remember, the digital time is the number that is showing right here, right underneath each clock. So that one says 1:30. So you could just trace that first one is easy. You're just going to draw it to the 6. Got it? So you're tracing it. You're just going to trace it. And then you're doing the same thing for all of the other ones. You could do it by yourself or you can follow along with me, but you're just drawing hands to the 6 because it's reminding you that it is right here, 7:30. And then number 2, let's see number 2, 3:30. You're drawing it down to the 6. Number 3, 10. You see how the digital time says 10:30? You're drawing the digital hand down to the 6. Remember, don't worry about drawing arrows because I know it could get a little tricky. So just drawing a little hand, a little stick down to the 6 is fine with me. So finish doing that by yourself. You're just drawing the minute hand straight down to the 6. Depending on what the digital time is saying, that's the time that the clock shows. That's easy peasy, all right? You can do it. You can play the video over if you still need more directions or ask mommy and daddy or I know you got this. You'll be fine, all right? Now the back of the paper, it says to just circle the clock that shows the correct time. So boys and girls, look at the time that it's showing you digitally. It's saying 2:30. Remember that after the dots, when it was o'clock, it showed 00, right? Remember that? But this time, because we're learning to tell time to the 30 minutes, then it's going to say 2:30, because you know how to write the number 30. 30 is 30. So look at the number here. The time is 2:30. Which one of those clocks say 2:30? Which one does it show 2:30? Do you know? I think you know. It is the one here where the hand right here, the minute hand is between the 2 and the 3, and then the minute hand is pointing to the 6. So circle the one right here on the right. Circle the one on the right. You got it? Okay. Now let's go to number 2. It says 9:30. 9 dot dot right there. You see that? The colon, not 9 dot dot 30. It's wanting you to circle which one says 9:30. Is it the one on the top? No, that says 9 o'clock. This one over here says 9:30 because the minute hand is pointing to the 6. Got it? Now let's go over to the top, number 3, 4:30. Which one of those says 4:30? Well, this one is 4 o'clock, so you don't want to circle that. You want to circle 4:30, where the minute hand is pointing to the 6. Got it? Remember, the hour hand is between the 4 and the 5. So it's 4 because you're calling out the smallest number, 4:30. Good, you got it. And the last one, I'm going to see if you could do it by yourself. That says 6:30. Which one would you circle? Well, did you circle the first one? 6 o'clock? I bet you didn't. I bet you circled this one. If you did, you got it right. If you didn't, it's no big deal. Just erase it and you can circle the right one. All right? 6:30. And then the last ones, number 5 and number 6, it says draw the hour and minute hand. Now you have to do that. You have to take your pencil and draw the hands. So this first hour says 11:30 and this next one says 8:30. So we're going to do it on the board. Ready? So the first one is 11:30. So we're going to draw a small hand. We're going to go between the 11 and the 12. You see, this is between the 11 and the 12, and that's the shorthand. And they want you to draw the 30, 11:30. So where do I draw my minute hand? Do I draw it to the 12? I draw it straight down to the 6. And I touch it because that's longer. I'm showing it's longer than the minute hand, the hour hand. Okay? So that's 11:30. And the next one says, let's see, 8:30. So again, 30 right away to the 6. And then it says 8, so you know the small hand's going to be between the 8 and the 9. Okay? And then you're going to write 8. This is digital time, 8:30. You got it? I hope you did. And I hope you had fun learning the 30 hour, the 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, right? Now you know how to tell time, not only to the o'clock, but now to the 30th hour, right? The half past hour. Good. All right, practice on your little clocks. Use it as a learning tool and be very careful with them. All right, hope you enjoyed your lesson and we'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye-bye.